Hello and welcome to Tammy Stone's Transfer Planning for the U course. Today you will be learning about CVTC's career assessment, what to look for in career planning, and how to plan for your career planning financially. My name is Rachel Mason and I'm one of CVTC's Student Central Advisors. Between my esteemed colleague Katie Beck and myself, we are here to assist you before, during, and after your time at CVTC. Our roles are to help students who are undecided about programs or may need help interpreting or taking a career assessment. We are also highly trained in all things financial aid and financial wellness. During financial wellness appointments, we can address and help you with various financial wellness topics, including debt management, budgeting, credit scores, and more. So what are career assessments? You may have heard of them and you may have already took them either in middle school, high school, and sometimes in elementary school when you do career days or dress up or free play and they have different job occupations. You're actually being exposed to career planning. So career assessments help increase self-awareness for you, the person taking the test. It'll help you focus on your values. You will self-reflect and see how your values and your interests align. You'll be aware of the job and labor market, what's out there, what are some bright careers coming, and also it's really there for a guidance to help you. Career assessments are not a one-all. When you get your number one pick, that does not mean that's what you have to go into. It's just there to guide you, to show you what different careers are out there based on your values, your interest, and your other results from the assessment. Most recently, CVTC's career assessment tool is Focus2 Career. And before this, CVTC used Career Cruising, and we use Career Cruising because a lot of the high schools in Wisconsin use Career Cruising. We wanted to align with all of there, but through some research, we figured out that Focus2 is really great for our students, but you may have already taken Career Cruising or you may have already taken Focus2. But today we are going to focus on Focus2 career assessment. Now, what makes Focus2 unique? And this is why CVTC switched over to it. It's easy to read and quick to complete. It's very simple questions and answers, not too in-depth. It's reliable and there's valid research-based assessments on this that is showing that by taking the different assessments, you are going into a career path or career cluster and having higher results on that. And what's really why we change it is it connects your results with CVTC programs. So even if the program may not be offered at CVTC, you can research to see where you could take it. Is it at a 4-year? Do you need to look at other 2-year universities? Are you going to take generals here and then transfer? But it does take all of your careers that are as a result of the assessment, and they do focus on CVTC's programs to really help you narrow down your decision. And as you saw earlier, there's self-assessments. There are 5. Work interest, and that will ask you what do you enjoy. Personality assessments, how do you relate to the environment around us? How do you relate to the environment us? Leisure activities, what do you do for fun? What do you do and enjoy in your spare time? The value assessment will give you your top 3 values in a job, and the skill assessment will also give you your top 3 skills in a job. And then you can also look at these assessments individually, or there'll be an area where you can combine the assessments or combine certain parts of the assessments to get an overall result for you to explore on. Now, to take the Focus2 assessment, there's many ways to do it. We can send you an email. Tammy may have already sent you the link to complete it, but otherwise, if you go to the main cvtc.edu webpage, and in the right-hand corner where you would normally click on Commons, there'll be a magnifying glass for a search engine, and in there, click on Career Planning, and it'll be your first result. It'll take you to this page. It'll kind of give you an explanation of what Focus2 is, what assessments there are, and then you can go in and create a free account. It does not have to be related to your CVTC email to create that Focus2 assessment. And when you get to the homepage after creating your account, it's going to look very similar to this. This is what my home screen looks like, so that's why my name's on there, but we'll say yours. And the first section is the Career Planning Foundations, where you'll take an assessment based on where you are in your career planning involvement, your academic strengths, and seeing where you are career readiness, and also the different self-assessments. As you can see, there's 5. The next slides, we will break more into what each of these areas are and what each assessments do. And then also, once you are done at the bottom of the page, you can say, like, what can I do with a major in blank, offered at Chippewa Valley Technical College. You can explore any occupation. So even if it's not one that came up on your career assessment, you can search for occupations. It'll give you a breakdown of it. Then you can compare 2 occupations side by side that could be similar. It could be totally opposite, but this is where you can really do that exploration on your own. And then you can save your occupations, you can save your majors, and then you can review and print your portfolio. So it's a very nice homepage to give you all of your results, or where you can start to find those results. And as you saw earlier, there's self-assessments. There are 5. Work interest, and that will ask you, what do you enjoy? Personality assessments, how do you relate to an environment around us? How do you relate to the environment us? Leisure activities, what do you do for fun? What do you do and enjoy in your spare time? The value assessment will give you your top 3 values in a job, and the skill assessment will also give you your top 3 skills in a job. And then you can also look at these assessments individually, or there'll be an area where you can combine the assessments or combine certain parts of the assessments to get an overall result for you to explore on. But on the homepage, you're going to do the first section on career planning foundations and your career planning involvement. So based on the National Association of College and Employers, NACE, they give you different career readiness competencies and questions, and based on that, you'll get a score range from 1 to 5. Now, if you are under 5, do not worry. This is what you're going to school for, or meeting with us for, to see where you are in that career planning involvement by preparing you by volunteering, job shadowing, joining a club, doing more research. So if you get under 2, do not think this isn't the right career or I'm not career ready. You are taking the right steps to get career ready by learning about the Focus2 career assessment. You'll also take an assessment on academic strengths. It will give you results on, I do very well in, I do all right, I don't do well, I never took this subject, based on what they are asking you. Now, this is, again, isn't a one-all be-all. If you put, I never took this subject, and I'm going to use my example up on the screen, art, fine, visual, studio design, doesn't mean that that's not my strength. I just haven't been exposed to that. And that's also why you are going to school, to earn those strengths, to build those strengths, to get that education to be well. But here it's saying that you're naturally good at the doing very well and the do all right. The don't do well, maybe a little bit more of having to work harder to get those grades or work harder to get those skills, but it doesn't mean that you can't learn them. Then your final kind of like pre-assessment will be seeing where you are on the career readiness scale. It'll score you on 8 competencies: career critical thinking, communication, teamwork, leadership, technology, professionalism, career and self-development, and then equity and inclusion. My results just kind of show where I am on all of them. Again, this isn't saying for me, like technology, that am I career ready in technology because it's so low. It's just saying I'm not maybe developed as high in the technology piece on my career readiness. But again, this is just one of many other ways to get you ready for your career exploration. After you do those 3 we just talked about, we're going to dive into the interest self-assessments, and this is really where you're going to get those career results. So the first one is work interest assessment, and they'll ask you questions like, on a scale or star of 1 to 5, would you enjoy doing this? Would you prefer this? To give you your work interests. And then here, as you can tell on the left-hand picture, it says there's a tie in my results. So before I could move on to see where I was in my work interest assessments using that Holland code that Tammy has talked about, I had to pick if I wanted to do the conventional or enterprising competency level. And based on reading both of the descriptions, I clicked or selected conventional just because that seems very more like me and wanting to really focus my results and interest. I went with that route, but if you do have a tie, doesn't matter which one you pick, we can always go back and do another one. And then you'll get your top 3 results, which is your Holland code. As you can see, mine's SCE. So social, the helpers, conventional, the organizers, and enterprising, their persuaders. Those were my top 3. The other 3 were there. They just were not my top strengths. So your work interest result will be different and you will be assigned a different Holland code. The next assessment that I think is really good to take is the personality assessment, and this is how you relate to the environment around you. You're going to get questions asked like, how do you react to certain situations and people? How do you make decisions? How do you organize information? How do you go about problem solving? So really what your personality is and how it could get focused into a career. And personality is a huge thing because if you don't really and maybe enjoy working with the people, or you want to do more behind the scenes, that is your personality and that's where you're going to shine. So you need to be honest with your answers and to give you really those more accurate results. In your next real big important assessment, if you're going to do all of the assessments, we really want you to do the work interests, the personality, and the values, because values is a description of what is most important to you in your life. So is earning money important? Is having a secure job it's not going to go anywhere? Helping others, giving back, are those your values? And if those are your values, what occupations match with them? So I got my values assessment was independence, prestige, tangible results. So just based on this, and this isn't combining all the other assessments, it's showing me what occupations match my 3 values. And from there, you could go on and keep looking and selecting the career and researching more, seeing what the salary is. And then it also says select your top 3 values from the choices below. So you can also kind of pick and play if these were your top values. What ones do you want to see what results would be? So values, again, is another important one to see what you value in a job and in your life to help you decide on that career. So the skills assessment is the reflection of your talents and types of things you easily learn and perform well. And then as talked about earlier, just because they come easy to you and you perform well at does not mean that you would not be trained in those skills. That is what you're going to college for, to learn those. But skills are going to come what comes naturally to you, maybe what you don't have to work so hard at, or just as what is your natural ability. You will learn those through your skills assessment. They'll also show your top 3 results, or you can pick your top 3 skills from the choices below to see which ones matter to you, what you want to learn more, and it does then give you your results on your skills. So giving you your top results, you can learn more about it, what program it relates to at CVTC, salary, and what job family it is. So for mine, let's say advertising sales agent, that's kind of very broad. I can learn more about it, but I could see what job family it is and break it down from there, maybe careers that are more interesting to me as well. So the leisure interest self-assessment is seeing what do you like to do outside of work? What do you do during your free time? And this one can be good and bad because some people say, I really enjoy doing art and drawing outside of a typical working day, but it does not mean I want to do that all day and then have to do that as my hobby. Now, some people love doing that as their hobby and their career. So going here, you'll see like what your leisure interests are, and that'll also narrow it down to your results. But this is one where if it gives it to you, don't say, oh my gosh, it's saying I have to do this. It's just giving you those necessary results to help you narrow down your choice. Now the moment we've been waiting for. So once you complete all of those assessments, you're going to get your Holland code again, and then combining your results will show you your top results on your occupations, your interest scores, what your ideal working conditions are, and different professional associations to research more on that as well. And to really fine tune and learn more, you can combine all your results. So you're combining your assessment results to create a list of the best fit occupations. You will select the assessments you would like to combine. If you've taken all 5, do all 5, or if you're like, I just want to know what my work interests, skills, personality, or skills, personality, values, you can select those combinations. On the right, I selected all 5 of my assessments, and then it says there's no occupations that have all that match all of my top 5 assessments. Same with the top 4. But they're saying there's 10 occupations that appear in 3 of the assessments you have completed, 71 that appear in 2 of the 5 assessments I completed, and then 24 occupations that appear in 2 or more of the assessments that you completed. So you can select that little plus sign and find the occupations under each one. When I did this, obviously picked all of them and did research, but I picked the one with all 3 because it's saying out of all the 3 combined, these are my top ones that have the best match based on all of the assessments. And here's just a close-up of my combined assessment report. And this was the 10 occupations that appear in 3 of your assessments you completed. So the first one I'm going to pick as the second one appearing, but for this purpose, benefits manager. So it's saying supporting majors or programs at Chippewa Valley Technical College, the Associates of Art University transfer if I wanted to go to a 4-year university. But CVTC has the business management, accounting, human resources program, and that transfer program to go on to that 4-year or more. It shows the salary, what job family it's under, and what assessments align. So it shows my values, personality, and skills, but it does not show like my work interest because that does not what interests me or my leisure, but it's saying based on your values, personality, and skills, these would be the top. You can look to see which ones are yours as well. And then if you see this sun, that means it is a bright outlook. So there'll be lots of job openings in the future, and you can figure out it by clicking on these to learn more about it and the bright outlook on jobs and careers. Now, if you found a career or careers that interest you and you want to learn more that you couldn't find on the Focus2 summary, there are different tools. There is ONET, and that is the one that us general advisors recommend that you can go to. So if you do ONET or search ONET with that little asterisk, it will appear. It is a government website. You can put any job title in there. When you select it, it's got interviews from people in that position. Like it'll say on a percentage wise, this percentage of my day I spend on a computer, this much I work with people directly, this many type of meetings. So you can really see what your day would be like, the working conditions. It will also again have bright outlook. And if CVTC doesn't offer it, you can put in a zip code or a state. It'll show you job openings and where you can go to school for those skills. But also other tools, if you want to use them or combine all of them, going to the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics, My Next Move, Career One Stop, or Job Corps to really research those careers and find more, because maybe one website really interests you, but I just want to learn a little bit more, and you're getting those interviews from people directly in that position, and you're like, that does not match me. So Focus2 is great, and as we mentioned that first slide, it's there for guidance, but these are also other guidance tools for you as well. So a huge piece of career planning and going to college, whether it's at CVTC, another technical college, a university, an art school, is financial aid. Now I want you to think to yourself, what do you think financial aid is? So financial aid is money that is there to assist you with paying for school. It's not there to pay for everything. It's not there to make sure that you don't have to take out loans, hopefully not, but it's there to help you pay for schooling. So there are 4 types of financial aid, and financial aid a lot of people think is just grants or loans or scholarship, but there are 4 types of financial aid. And those are grants, which is typically free money that's either federal or state that does not have to be paid back, and it is based on income eligibility on your FAFSA, and it's also prorated based on credits. The other type is federal loans. There are 2 federal student loans, the subsidized and unsubsidized loan. The difference between those 2 is really when the interest starts accruing. If you are awarded the subsidized loan, interest does not accrue, so the Department of Ed is paying for that interest while you're in school, but interest will start accruing 6 months either after you graduate from a school, stop attending, or go below 6 credits. Unsubsidized loan, the interest accrues right away, but you do not have to make payments on that until that 6 month, either after you graduate, stop attending, or go below 6 credits. So it has the same interest rate, which does change each academic year, and the only difference is when interest accrues. There's also federal private loans like Sallie Mae, but those loans typically have an interest rate of 18% or higher, even when inflation's not going on, and they have to be paid back sometimes the next month. So if you're going to take out loans, always take out the federal student loans. The third type of financial aid is work study. And work study is you would be employed by the college that you are attending, and you are paid from the Department of Ed money, so an income based on your need. Like at CVTC right now, the work study, it's $14, and that's typically very stable throughout all universities and colleges across the U.S., but you'd be employed by that institution, and instead of that institution paying you a paycheck, the Department of Ed has allotted funds to pay. This does not go towards your balance. This is like money to help you live. But it's like a normal paycheck. And the last one is scholarships. So scholarships they do not fall under the FAFSA, but some scholarships do require you to have a FAFSA on file to look at financial need and eligibility. Scholarships are, like those third-party applications that you're applying to. Sometimes your work may have one, your parents' work, guardian. Some schools will have scholarships, but those, if you're looking for them, you have to do different applications to complete those. So there are 4 different types of financial aid, and those do fall under that financial aid umbrella. Now that we know the different types of financial aid, how do you ensure that you'll maintain financial aid eligibility? First, you'll need to enroll in a financial aid eligible program. Every student at the end of the semester will be assessed to see if they've met the satisfactory academic progress, or SAP for short. If you've used federal financial aid, Pell, and loans, remember those both fall under that, to pay for your classes, you must earn a 2.0 term GPA, a 2.0 cumulative GPA, and complete 67% of your attempted credits. These are ands, not ors. You must meet all 3 standards to maintain your eligibility for financial aid for the next semester. If you do not maintain it the second semester, you would get financially aid suspended, and you would have to complete an appeal. And this is not CVTC rules. This is all across colleges and universities around the United States to maintain this. So even if you're not getting financial aid now and you are thinking about in the future, this will affect if you're eligible or not. So 2.0 cumulative and semester GPAs around that C average, and completing 67% of those attempted credits. So let's say you're in 12 credits, you drop 1 class, which is 3 credits. So that gives you're now in 9 out of your 12 attempted credits. That's above 67% of those completed credits or attempted credits. Now let's say you drop 2 classes, you went from 12 credits to 6 credits. That is half, that is 50%. You did not complete 67% of those attempted credits. So even if you got a 4.0 GPA for your semester in cumulative, but you did withdraw from 2 classes, you would get put on financial aid warning going into the next semester. Given the next semester, you have to meet all of these again to not get financial aid suspended. The 150% rule, we don't see a lot at CVTC, but it does happen at universities, which is why I did include this for those that are thinking of going right from high school to a university, is completing classes or your program within a certain amount of credits. So at CVTC, it typically takes 60 credits to earn a 2-year associate degree. The Department of Education will give you 30 extra credits, if you switch programs or exploring, before they will cut you off. And this is not CVTC. The Department of Ed says, okay, why don't you have a degree yet? Now, at a university, it typically is 120 credits to get that 4-year degree. So they're going to give you, again, a little wiggle room, but you need to make sure that you are completing that within that 150%, talking to those career advisors, talking to your academic advisors, so you maintain this. If you feel like you would meet any of these throughout the semester, talk to your academic advisor, because even though you may be on financial aid warning for the next, at least things would be documented if you would ever have to do the appeal. So, and this would be also with grants. So let's say you do not complete this. Well, grants are typically free money, you don't have to pay back. If you would complete this or get all Fs, or something would happen, you didn't go formally with withdrawing, you could have to pay back your financial aid, including grants. So it's very important to know that financial aid is not always free, and you have to maintain eligibility with the Department of Ed to keep getting your financial aid. Now, how do you get financial aid? The first one is you need to apply, and you apply, you may have heard this term, the FAFSA, F-A-F-S-A, and this, we'll learn a little bit more on the next slide, but this is the federal application for federal student aid, and you need to complete this every year. So let's figure out what are some myths about financial aid. So can you spot which one of these are myths? And it's going to be a little harder on this presentation that we typically do for this presentation, so bear with us. Number 1, I don't qualify for financial aid due to income. And if you didn't already guess this, this is a myth. So there is no income cutoff to qualify for federal student aid. Every question on that FAFSA goes into calculation. Regardless of your financial need, every student will qualify for some type of financial aid, which is typically the unsubsidized loan. So it may not be the type of aid you were hoping for, but you are eligible for it, even if you don't think you qualify due to your financial aid or your parents' financial aid. Next one, I support myself. I don't need to include parental information on the FAFSA. This is not necessarily true. So even if you support yourself and you file taxes on your own, you may still be considered a dependent student for financial aid purposes. If you are considered a dependent student by the Department of Ed, that means you are either under 24, not married, or have no legal dependents, or served active military overseas. You have to provide parental information, even if they do not help you financially. There may be some other special circumstances, but for the most part, the Department of Ed, if you do not meet those three, you do have to provide parental information. The next one is the FAFSA uses 2-year-old tax information. And yes, so when you are filling out that FAFSA, it's always going to go back 2 years for you, and if you have to provide parental information, their taxes and W-2s. So important to keep all those on file. The next one is I need to complete the FAFSA every year. Kind of gave that away in the previous slide, but yes, the FAFSA needs to be completed every academic year. It typically opens October for the next year due to some changes with the FAFSA doing a total makeover and revamp, which has not been done in 40 decades, or 4 decades, so 40 years. You will have to do that every academic year, and then we'll use a different tax form. So again, keeping you and your parents or guardians information for the last 2 years. Financial aid will always be available to me until I earn my degree. The previous slide we mentioned, it's not always going to be there. You have to meet that 150%, but also students get a lifetime loan limit and grant limit, and it's not at CVTC or it's everywhere. So once you meet the max, the Department of Ed saying you don't have a degree, or why are you pursuing and why are you going back, we're going to cut you off. So that is important to know. That's not always going to be there, and you need to make sure that you're not taking classes outside of your plan so you don't fall under there. And then the last one is I should take out all the loan amounts offered just in case. And what a lot of people don't know is, yes, you may be offered loans, but you do not have to take them. They can stay in an offered state through that academic year. So if you're offered them for the fall semester, and let's say something happens in January or February, and you need to take out those loans, we can, as a college or university, backdate those within that academic year to help you with that. What's nice too, if you don't need those loans interest is not accruing while it's staying in an offered state. So if you don't need them, don't take them, just in case, because you see all this money, you're like, oh, I have never seen this much before, I'm going to accept it. Don't do it if you don't need it. The current FAFSA is for June 2023 through June 2024, which includes the upcoming spring semester of 2024 if you are registered, and they will need 2021 tax year information. Now, if you are going to be starting school either summer of 2024, fall of 2024, spring of 2025, you're going to have to wait to complete the 2024-2025 FAFSA. That should come out in January. As we said, the Department of Ed is doing a total remodel of it, so they're hoping to have it out by January 1st. So also depending on when you're taking classes, some colleges and universities go summer through spring, some go fall through summer. So you need to work with your college's financial aid department to see what FAFSA to complete. You can include as many colleges as you want on the FAFSA. So maybe if you're undecided or unsure when you complete it, you can include the college there. It's going to require the 2022 tax information. Remember, it's going to go back 2 years, so the new one coming up will use 2022. And if you need help, on January 31st, 2024, at the CVTC campus in the evening, we'll be having a college goal through the state of Wisconsin. This is throughout the state. You can go to various locations, and even if you're not going to CVTC, please come with you legal guardian, parent. we can help you with that FAFSA. Otherwise, if you have questions, you can reach out to the FAFSA.gov website. There's tons of tutorials, videos, links to help you navigate through there. So when do students get their financial aid? That does depend on the type of aid and your balance. Financial aid funds, and I'm going to use CBTC as an example, it can change with other universities, but usually the financial aids will come to CVTC first. If there are any leftover funds, they will be sent to the student. We call this a financial aid refund. Any remaining balance after funds are applied is the student's responsibility. We encourage everyone to set up an electronic refund account in their online cashier connection to get your refunds ASAP to your bank account. Electronic refunds are deposited the Friday we receive them, and then paper checks are mailed the following Monday. It's also important, if you do not want that e-refund, to make sure your mailing address is up to date. So loans come in the first week of the semester. They are applied to your account. If there's any leftover funds, you would get a first refund that Friday or the following Monday. The Wisconsin grant is typically dispersed the same time as student loans, but it depends on when the state sends it to us. We've seen them first week, second week, all the way up to the last week of the semester. The big one, the Pell Grant, that federal Pell Grant, is applied on the 5th week of the semester. A lot of students will not take out loans and just are using the Pell to pay for school. It's important to note that the Pell does not come in until the 5th week of the semester. If there are remaining funds, those would be refunded at that time. So we cannot give you any funds before that for living expenses. So that is important to keep in mind. And then scholarships, that varies on their type of scholarship. It's best to reach out to the scholarship person or sponsor who awarded the scholarship to determine when the funds would be arriving to CVTC. Some come throughout the semester, some wait for final grades, then you'll get a refund for the next semester. So it all varies, but it is important to know that you don't get everything up front, and the college will take what is owed first and give you a remaining balance. Ask yourself, why don't I have financial aid? So all students are encouraged to complete the FAFSA. Even if you don't think you will qualify for any aid, it is required for most scholarships and third-party resource funding. If you have completed the FAFSA but still don't have any aid memoed or awarded to your account, there could be several reasons for this. You may have incomplete verification documents. So even if you did the FAFSA correctly, the Department of Ed could randomly select you to provide additional documentation. Again, this is through the Department of Ed, not CVTC. So keep an eye on your CVTC student email, because that is where they will notify you. If you have incomplete verification document, your financial aid will not be processed. You could be in an ineligible program, or maybe you were only offered loans and you either aren't interested in utilizing them or you did not go in and accept them. Whatever the reason may be, there could still be options for helping pay for college. So through CVTC, there is a United Way grant. This is based on financial need and certain programs and certain counties where students reside in. There are also college scholarships. So like CVTC has scholarships, other universities have their own scholarships. Keep an eye on your CVTC or university email for updates on their scholarships. There's third-party funding called Workforce Resources in Western Dairyland. Depending on your county, they sometimes will be there to assist with expenses that are not covered by aid, loans, and grants to help you with those costs that aren't covered. And there's other scholarships. If we really recommend that you apply for all of them that you can, because that is free money that typically does not have to be paid back. FastWeb and scholarships.com are great websites that are legitimate, but if you ever have to pay for a scholarship or provide like a social security number, please do not do that. Reach out to someone that you trust, or ask us at Student Central or Money Matters, because we want to be able to help you. But there are scholarships. If it's too good to be true, Sometimes it is, especially if they are requiring you to pay or put in your social security number. Really, we want you to know why we're giving you this financial aid information is we want you to be financially fit. And to be financially fit, you need to know and maximize the benefits of your financial aid, know the difference between the loans, what that eligibility is to remain in good standing, understand your aid eligibility. Again, following those, the SAT practice, why you may not qualify this year, but the next, it's based on tax information, family, income, your income. Utilize those additional resources, so like workforce resource, or if your job, sometimes they may even help pay for your education. Don't over borrow just because you can. You may be tempted to take out the loans even if you don't need them because you haven't seen that much money. Don't over borrow just because they're there. They will have to be paid back with interest, and then always apply for scholarships and grants if there's any of those special ones like the United Way to help you with that free money to assist you through your college journey. So what is Money Matters? This is CVTC's financial wellness program. So while you're in high school and you are taking college classes through CVTC, you can definitely utilize this, but your college or university, if you're not attending CVTC in the future, may have their own financial literacy program, but Money Matters is CVTC's financial literacy wellness program. We were created in 2018. Since then, we've seen well over 7,000 students served, and this is their different capacities. It's for prospective, current, and alumni students. So you can come back after your classes. You would technically be an alumni. We can assist you, and it is 100% free. So it's such a great resource for students to help you be better financially fit. So through Money Matters, we offer so many different services. We have monthly workshops that are on different financial literacy topics. We come to classroom takeovers like this. We can create personalized discussions and appointments based on your financial concerns. So really what's going on with you, we can customize it. It's not generic. We can bring in your financial information. We can help you get an explanation of the financial aid process, what your award letter means, help creating a budget, talk about student loan repayments, debt repayment, credit basics, credit scores, how to increase your credit score, even how to get a credit score, and anything really related under that financial literacy umbrella we can help you with. If there's something we are not comfortable or don't have the training on, we will refer you to outside resources that we work with and help you make those outreaches, and you're not alone. And we also like to learn with you. We do offer these virtually, like via Zoom or Teams, in person live through like a telecast at various campuses, the River Falls campus. Phone does work. We do, like to have those tangible face-to-face experiences or over Zoom so we can pull up screens, but we will do phone, but really anything, emails too. So don't ever hesitate to reach out. We are great. Everything's private, stays in here, and we will work together to help you be the best you. Now, we know financial and finances are a very sensitive topic, and it's not always the most fun thing to talk about or you want to start talking about. So if workshops and appointments is not your scene, that's okay. There are online resources that we offer 100% free to students. We have two. One is Grad Ready. It is sponsored by Ascendium. It is a financial or Department of Education owned resource, and you can learn about ways to pay for college, financial aid, basic budgeting, basic financial literacy, but it's really focused on where you are currently in your educational journey. And then we also have Bonsai. This is sponsored by Wisconsin Credit Union, and this is an interactive learning module, and it can be tailored to your current financial situation. So you can actually plug in money, and if you're worried about buying a house or saving up for a house or having children or looking at paying for a four-year university, or you want to go on, getting out a credit card, anything you can think of, they have different topics on that, and it's all tailored to your current situation. So these are both great resources, 100% free, and you can get to them by going to in your Commons webpage under the Pay for College tab, Money Matters, and you'll see all of our different links, or you can reach out to us or Tammy and we will also give you the direct link. So financial literacy is great and we love giving back to students and sharing our knowledge, but we also want you to know that you can win big with Money Matters. So every month, Money Matters hosts a different workshop. Each workshop, not only you are awarded moolah, well, it's not real money, it's raffle points that we award you for participating to be entered to win semester grand prizes, but also workshop grand prizes. So by coming to a workshop event, you would win $10 in moolah to be entered to win the semester grand prizes, which you need $15 worth of moolah, but also be entered to win one of the workshop prizes. And we give prizes out every semester, different prizes for workshops, but essentially the more moolah that you earn, the better chances you have to win those semester grand prizes. And as I say, it pays to play. So it pays to play with Money Matters. So coming and participating in classroom takeovers, reaching out, coming to our events, doing online challenges, sending us emails with questions, meeting with us, doing everything that we are offering to you. The more moolah you have, the better chance you have of winning these prizes each semester. Here's just a few. I'm going to emphasize a few of our past winners. We give out gift cards, physical prizes, put on so many events where you can earn moolah plus earn prizes during that. And we want you to be our new faces on this slide. So we hope that you play. And finally, thank you for listening to this presentation. We hope that you got some information on the career assessment and how it's a great tool to guide you. But also, if you have more questions or aren't sure, please, please, please reach out to Money Matters and the general advisors. So we have one email, so it does fall under the Money Matters, but it's Money Matters, all one word, all lowercase, at cvtc.edu, and we can help you with financial aid questions, financial literacy, but we can also help you interpret the Focus2 career assessment, help you do career research. We can help you reach out to companies if you want a job shadow, or instructors if you want to sit in on a classroom to see if that's what you're interested in before making that commitment. So in order for us to better serve you and be better presenters and make sure that you are getting everything we can give you, if you could tell us how we did, if you scan this QR code, it will bring you to a Microsoft Office form, and it will be anonymous, and you can tell us how we did, maybe what you wish we talked about or you want to learn more about, and this is feedback for us and how to be better for you. So again, we hope that something came out of this presentation and you learned something, and just know that there's so many people that are here to help you with that career planning journey and how to find ways to pay for it and be the best financial you. So thank you and have a great rest of your day.